my American friends. Hello, Inari and team, because I know you'll be watching this as well. But welcome to LDA. We're on week 2. We went in live last week, so you can jump on the group if you wish and to watch the videos. And all the videos are on there, by the way. So if you just feel like you need some training, looking for answers, just go back and we're trying to YouTube them, but there's so many different options to watch them. So just jump on there and rewatch if you want, or if you find a session particularly valuable. Don't be scared to rehash it, guys, so it really sinks in, right? But, welcome to week 2. We've got a bit to cover. I'm going to break down the full map list because I still think this is like the most vital thing we can do for a new member, and to get them to do it quickly is also very important, yeah? Because sometimes I talk to people and I'm like, where are they at on their map list? And these members have been business building members for 3 or 4 months and they still haven't done their goals, Like it's not, for me, that's not someone I can work with, because if you don't know what someone wants, how can you help them? You can't. It's impossible. You're assuming what they want. So I'm going to break that down for you guys. That's going to be first up, and that's going to move nicely into the circles plan because it's on there. And then we're going to talk about how the circles plan relates to the business flow and the funnel. And then we're going to talk about recruiting, because there's no problem in Herbalife that finding more members can't solve. It's what I've been told 1,000 times, and it still rings true, rings in my ears when I sleep. So, and then we've got some big announcements, guys. We've got a couple of announcements on Super Sunday in February. So you guys can block that out and get your teams in there straight away, because what's going to happen is we're going to get out of Adelaide and we're going to have about a week of like serious Herbalife energy still in our veins. And after that week, we're going to run out of it. Like, you just lose the enthusiasm. You do. Not to a point where you go back to where you were, but that initial charge is kind of like when you first have your first ever tea and you're pumped up, and then the next day it's a little bit less. 5 years later, you still feel good, but you're not like, well, my God, what's in this stuff, So there's the same thing with an Adelaide. So we're going to cash in on that, and a couple of weeks after we'll do Super Sunday, our first of the year. We're going to be talking about the SDS. We're still working on a bus, which is really important for our key people to go to as well, so they can learn how to get better, and then they get better and they help more people and they make more royalties. So, but let's talk about the map list. I'm going to try to bring this up. Literally been sitting here for half an hour and still didn't do this. So that's my bad. Meg has a hard copy that she's going to get me. That's good. But I know the first thing's on the map list anyway, guys. So hopefully you guys are familiar with it. And if you're not, get familiar with it, because this is how you're going to start your new guys. You don't have to do this, guys. You're independent Herbalife members. But this is the easiest way that I've found to do it. Because lists are really easy, right? Like, it's like, what's next? Okay, do that. So, firstly, what I would be doing is writing today's date and a goal of completion date. And I'd be suggesting that they can do it earlier. And what I would also do as their sponsor is offer them some type of prize. It doesn't have to be massive. Maybe it's lunch. Maybe it's a hat. Maybe it's a Herbalife branded shirt, or something from the store to get it done. Because it's going to, if we set people up properly, guys, they're going to experience success. If you can get someone a client in the first 72 hours, your retention rate's going to be extremely high. And if they go through this quickly, they'll be able to do that. So really, really important. Using the products consistently, and that we're going to talk about that in recruiting, because sometimes that's how we recruit people, right? And the reason why I put those two first things there is generally when you're running through this, they're already registered as well. So it means you're going tick, tick, and they've already had some wins. And just keep in mind the unconscious mind can't tell the difference of achievement between a big goal and a little goal. So they've already been winners in their mind. They're like tick, tick, win, win. So it's good, right? And then we move on to the goals. And this is definitely the most serious part of the list for me. Because apart from attending events, that'd be equally as serious. But if we don't know what people want, like I said at the start of the call, we can't help them. How can you come up with a plan for someone? Not everyone wants to go president's team out of this business, guys. And we have to, and if we're recruiting well, which we're going to talk about, it's not going to be an issue. But if we've got one person, then that's going to be your issue, because you're going to try put a circle into a square hole type of thing, right? So with our goals, I'm going to break down this whole process for you right now. So I get 20 goals. Time and money are no issue. So they're not Herbalife goals. They can be, I guess, but generally they're not, because you join Herbalife for freedom, for royalties, to make some extra money, to help people. Like, there's all the different reasons. But if it was called something else and it was the same thing, we'd still love it just as much, because it's the same company behind it, right? So they're not Herbalife goals. What would you, like, if I deposited $100 million into your bank account tomorrow, what would you do? You wouldn't have the normal stresses of normal life. So would you go buy a car? Would you, what would you drive? Where would you go? Would you have a house? Would you invest? Would you give back to charity? Would you help out people that have helped you out in the past tenfold? Would you, whatever it is for you. And it'll be, and some people will write stuff like be a better person, read more, learn karate. I'm just making stuff up here, but people have different goals, right? And I've seen it all. But generally, once we get their goals, and we don't want 15 guys. If someone can't come out with 20 goals, that's the point, because I've never been asked about it. I've never been given that opportunity to write down 20 goals. And if you have the power to write down what you want on a piece of paper, you have the power to achieve it. So there's no goals that are too big that they're going to write down, and no goals that are too small, right? So when we get their goals, and what you'll find is most people will be able to come up with 15, 16, 17 in my experience. And then what I do is go through them and make them more detailed. So people will write stuff like travel. Okay, which countries do you want to travel in? Pick your top 3, because we need 3 more goals. Bump, bump, bump. And then you complete, right? There's your 20. So, or they might write buy investment properties. Okay, where? Dun. Just make that. If people can't come up with 20 goals, generally they're just not defined, not clearly defined. So help them through that. Help them do that. And then what we're going to do is quantify someone's goals. So what that means is, for the ones that we can, we're going to put a dollar amount next to the figure. And what I strongly suggest, guys, if this is new to you and you don't feel like confident with this process, just bring in someone. I love doing this stuff. Bring me in. I'm happy to do it with you. Bring in your sponsor, whoever. It doesn't matter. Just bring someone in if you can't do it, because that's the easiest way to learn. You'll hear it 3 or 4 times. You'll be like, I am all over this. This is easy stuff, right? Powerful, but easy. So we quantify the goals at the end of it. So someone wants to buy a house, great. What's your mortgage repayment every month? We put it monthly amounts, because it just makes it so much easier to work out at the end. If someone's got, I'll pay $100 a week there. I'm going to pay 50 grand per annum here. It's going to be a lot of calculator work, guys. So just make it monthly. Trust me. And then at the end, you're going to come up with a figure. And generally in Australia, it's between 5 to 15 grand a month is what I've found for a large chunk of people. So what that means is they need to be global expansion team in our business in accordance with their goals. And of course, people's goals evolve and they change. But for the sake of the exercise, what they want right now is that. So we're going to show them how to do that. So what I do is then I draw out like a sideways staircase, like a horizontal line, vertical, horizontal, vertical. Then I write member, and we're not going to write the whole marketing plan here, guys, because you'll need a big piece of paper, right? So member, supervisor, active world team, global expansion team, millionaire team, president's team, because really they're the major pins. Like they're the big ones, and the stuff in between they're fantastic, but they're like the secondary pins, right? Like so they're like the wedgie pins that they thought, oh, there's a big gap here, we'll put one in the middle. So I guess what I'm talking about is the pins that make a big change financially. So if you go from 2% bonus to 4% bonus, it doubles. So your $5,000 global expansion team bonus goes to 10, you notice it. It's game changing, right? When you go president's team, the $10,000 millionaire team bonus goes from 8 to 10 to 16 to 17. So it's a big difference. Like that's a lot of money. So that's why we put those pins, because if we put them all, it's just too messy. So So we do that, and then I write about the rough bracket of income they need that's going to, go against that pin. So, for example, as a new member, you're going to make nothing to $1,000 a month before. If you're doing more than that, you get promoted. If you're doing less, you're doing no work. Like if you're making nothing, you're doing nothing. It's Herbalife. That's just the lay of the land. Then the next pin's supervisor. So roughly supervisors make $1,000 to $2,500 in Australia a month before they'd naturally either get promoted or they'd quit or qualify, drop their work ethic back. Well, whatever it is, they'll be somewhere in between those numbers. As active world team, there'll be $2,500 to $5,000 a month. So things are getting a little bit more serious. Like $60,000 a year is a good. That's above average income in Australia. So that's active world team bracket. Global expansion teams 5 to 15. Millionaire teams 15 to 30, and president's team $30,000 plus. And I write this on the piece of paper, guys. That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. And then based on their figures, so let's say they have to make $12,000 based on their goals. I say, okay, great. So Meg's here, so I'll use Meg as the name that I'm working with. So Meg, based on, this is exactly the conversation I have. So this is like dictation. So I'll say, Meg, based on what you're currently doing, is there any way you feel outside of Herbalife that you can make $12,000 a month? And she will generally say, no, I can't. Okay, cool. No problem. Great. So, Meg, where are you on the marketing plan? Sorry, in between there, I'll give some examples of people that are doing that. So that's why it pays to tell people's stories. So, for example, here you might tell Rowan's story. Rowan's making $10,000 to $12,000 a month. You might put in my story and just some rough income. So you go to the SDS, you hear Lou's say on stage that she's making $10,000 a month, or I don't know what she's doing. You use that example. So you just insert some stories so they feel like it's possible for them, because it is. Then the next question I ask is say, okay, so where are you right now in the marketing plan? And I'll say, hopefully they say member. But if they don't, say, no, you're a member. And then we say, okay, so based on the amount of money that you need to make a month, where do you have to be? And for 12,000, that's get. If it was like $100,000 a month, it would be prayers, whatever it is. And you say, okay, great. And I always circle it. And I say, okay, cool. So what is your first step in the marketing plan amongst the major pins to be able to actually achieve that goal? And they will say probably world team or something. Like that's like a tricky one for most people for some reason, but it's supervisor, right? So the first step is supervisor. And I say, okay, great. You are correct. And this is the benefits of supervisor. 50%, 25%, 5%, explain that they have access to all the holidays, etc., etc. And this is how you do it. You need 4,000 volume points in a 12-month period, within a 12-month period, I should say. You can do 2,000 of that from downline. So you do 2, someone else does 2, you're a supervisor. There is other ways, but I don't go into lines because it's confusing. Like this is enough for someone who's brand new for this process. So I say, if you get off to a really quick start and you help some people and show some people how to help some people, there is ways to do it quicker and cheaper, but it's a little bit confusing, so I don't want to go into that right now. Let's just jump on here. Muted, yeah. Cool. So, and then I explain the bridging steps between supervisor and where they are right now. So you remember now, and I call them, I say there's 3 bridging steps between supervisor and member. And here they are. 500 volume points in a month, just total volume, can be from downline as well. You'll be 35% off. If you do personally purchase, you do a cut of the member activation program, which gets you a free blender. Right? So it's a permanent 35%. If you do 1,000 volume points in one order, commercially, it makes the most sense. But it is a financial thing. You get that, we do a launch, we help you get rid of it, et cetera, et cetera. It's 42% for that order. So you won't get better than that prior to supervisor. Just doesn't happen. That's your best retail margin you can get. So 1,000 volume points is literally the best retail margin you can get. So if you're serious about this thing anyway, if you've got 3 clients, you'll get rid of that in 3 months. It's not a huge thing. And then Qualified producer is 2,500 volume points within 3 months. So someone can literally do it in their first 10 days if they want to, or they can do it right on the end of month on the 3rd month. Doesn't matter. As long as it's in that 3-month period, 2,000 volume points in total, you can do 1,500 from your downline, which is like a rort, right? Like you do 1,000 yourself, you show 2 people how to do 1,000, you're a qualified producer, and you never pay under a 42%. So that's pretty cool. And then there's supervisor. So I explain those steps because those steps there are actually on the map list down the track. And if they understand that, that's all they really need to understand because that's relevant to them and it'll be relevant to their new people if they haven't brought them into the system to meet you as their sponsor, their mentor, and their leader, right? So that's the goal setting process. That's what we do. Like I've been doing that for 5 years and 5 months. That's how long I've been in Herbalife. And it seems to be working. That's why we do it, right? But once again, guys, if that's confusing, I just want you to understand that process. So then if your mentor's showing you, you're picking up things that you're understanding what's going on, right? So it's important. Number 4 on the map list is your 10 people. So ideally, we want 50 fresh contacts that, and you'll notice later on down the list, learn from a sponsor the power of a good invitation. Like I was explaining to some guys here tonight at WLC, if you can master a comfortable set of words to invite people to what you love in Herbalife, you will make a fortune, especially with the systems that we have. So if they've got a sample size of 50, even if they are terrible, they will get 5, 6 people into the system. Just from, even if they're saying, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, come to the workout, they're free. People are going to show up because they're people that they know and they like and they trust, and they're just going to show up to see what they're doing, essentially. And then as we know, when people come into the system does the work for them. The room does the work for them. We do the work for them until they're like a big part of that, right? So, and that's when you sit with that new person and you show them how to invite those people. And if you can do that in an expressed amount of time, like I'm talking like if you can sit there in an afternoon and talk to 50 people with them, they will get clients on the board. That is all volume for jam for you. That is going to move you. If you're not a supervisor yet, there's a very, very good chance that's going to get you the supervisor. And it won't happen straight away, but you might get a few come this week, a few come next week, a few come this week, and there'll be like this flow-on effect from that just burst of work. Okay, so it's for me that's really important as well. And then, of course, then we kind of move into your plan and show you how to consistently invite some numbers every single week. And as a top-up, you guys are going to move really, really quick through the marketing plan. You're going to help a lot of more people quicker, which would then in turn let you make more money quicker, which is why we join a business. Let's not beat around the bush there. And it'll get the person a lot of leads as well. Yeah. And importantly as well, when they're inviting these people, they will get some no's and you'll be there to catch them, if they can't handle the no word, which a lot of people are fragile about. Some people have never done this type of thing and they get told no once and they want to, head to the hills type of thing. So that's the important process. Number 3, read the manuals and complete the learning center. Hopefully everyone on this call has done that because that's going to give you an education on the product, what we do, the simple forms of business, and all the key fundamentals of Herbalife. So make sure that you've done that, and if you haven't, just put that on your imperative list tomorrow. Teach you how to go to supervisor on the marketing plan. So that's something I would do towards the end with someone, because you show someone that and then you want them to show them back to you that, like, after that goals process, they're going to be pretty fried. Like, that's a lot of information for them to take in, right? Get them to teach that back to you at another time. We want our guys to understand the member activation program because that's so powerful, especially if you're duplicating it, like multi-level volume-wise. Your numbers will be crazy. And, of course, VIP ambassador. VIP ambassador. It's such a powerful thing to be able to turn one client, get them a good result, that bring you another two. Like, just think of the flow and effect. And then for that person, it's like, hey, you might be good at this business. Why don't you check it out? And we send them the webinar link or send them the video or whatever it is. So really, really important that they understand that, and they understand that someone can actually get a discount from sending you two people. It's like having a client replace themselves, and then you guys are still making half the cash on the second one. So it's like turning one client into 2.5. So it's good. Next one's invitations. Next one is have 10 guests to a DMO. You effectively do number 4 on this list, which is the 10 people, and show people how to invite them. They're going to absolutely crush that. And that's a DMO, guys. And it doesn't have to be yours. It can be like a business launch. It can be a skin party, whatever they want to do. Just have 10 people in there. They'll have 5 clients, and they'll do their first cut. They'll do 500 volume points just by default. Attend all the webinars and the live local meetings. Why do we do that? So we learn the process. You pick up so much tips and tricks and all the stuff that's going on just by being in the room. So it's really important. And what I know is any entrepreneurial endeavor is really, really hard in isolation. So if you've got people coming back to your system, that at least they feel loved. And hey, maybe they don't get off to a quick start. And then you can say, well, either did this person, and look how they're flying now, right? So you can, it's just so much, for me, the community is like the gel that glues everything all together. So if you can keep someone tapped into that, they will hang around. If you can't get them tapped into it, the chances are probably less likely that they'll hang around. They've got to be a special type of person. And attend the Kickoff SDS Super Sunday. So we've got this SDS coming up. And why do we do this? Because, well, number one, they have a free ticket on their bag, so it's a pretty easy sell. Number two is Super Sunday's free anyway. So that's pretty cool. But we do that to raise their belief, because we're always going to get a guest speaker in. They're going to see one at the SDS anyway. But it's just like it's a powerful thing that takes someone out of their own environment where they're going to be uncomfortable in anyway, put them in a room full of energy and get good content off the stage. Their belief just goes crazy, guys. Like, literally, you can see the numbers. Like, if we have good numbers in an SDS, we're going to have a whole bunch of guys that have lost a bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden these guys are smashing it on the other side. And what happened? They just got some good information and some inspiration. And that's, like, it's just all in the mindset. But I used to go to the SDSs, and ours were called Kickoff, but yours were called Super Sunday, to recharge my batteries, especially my Herbalife batteries, because sometimes you go pretty hard and you hear a lot of no's and you have a bad couple of weeks or a bad day or a bad whatever. And you're understanding that that's part of the process, so it's cool, but you do need that charge up. And that's why you go into that room, because as soon as you walk in there, you're back to 100%. It's like charging your iPhone. So the SDS charges you as a Herbalife member. And with that being said, you can imagine the charge people come back with from Adelaide. Because that's like, if you guys think the Melbourne SDS is good, picture 5,000 people in a room with Enrique, with lights, bells, whistles, dark room, like, it's next level. So that's when your battery bursts and you come back with an overflow of energy. But it's good. And so definitely get your new guys to that. But as we always say on these calls, like, I treat these sessions, SDS and Super Sundays, as ways there's ways in Herbalife to progress the timeline to where you want to be. So if someone wants to go President's Team, on average, it's a 13-year journey. And the only reason I done it quicker, in my belief, is because I went to every SDS and every major event that I qualified for. Why? Because I was mastering my craft. Like, this is what I wanted to do. I understood the royalty. Like, I understood that it was there. And there was people that were making a lot of it that I thought weren't extra special human beings. Like, they weren't like a Tony Robbins or like a Gary Vee or someone like that. They were just normal old mate from the pub who was Gary. He was a bartender before Herbalife, and he was making $500,000 a month. You know, so that's like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So that's why I used to go, because he said that's where I learned how to do it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go and learn how to do it. You know, so it made sense. So be penciling those things in, because that will shorten your timeline. The one you miss, you know, like I used to think of it, if I miss one, I might be putting my journey back 90 days, because you never know that information that you get in there. You never know that person that you're too scared to talk to, and you come out of the event, you're like, nah, I'm going to talk to that person because that was just like that person that was just on the stage. And you talk to them, they get involved, and they start smashing it. Like I've always had the what if in a positive way floating through my brain. So if you don't have that, develop that, because it's important. So you never know which SDS is going to change your life. So that's why I don't miss any. And same with the Super Sundays. And then based on the goals, guys, we draw up our 90-day plans. So this leads us into the second topic of tonight, which is the circles training. Firstly, any questions on the map list? I'll let you guys ask them, and I'll just keep going, and then I'll come back to it, right? So just type them in, and or can you put your hand up on Zoom? Do something, and then I'll figure it out. Oh, Matt's got one. I can see him. What are you guys called? Matt and Bobby's iPad. Got it. Oh, I think I just muted you. I think we done it at the same time. Okay, go.
I was just putting my hand up on Zoom.
Oh, okay. Wise ass. Okay, cool. Excellent. So this leads into the circles plan, right? And we kind of went through this last week. And this is actually a printed copy on Herba Family. So if you don't have it, it's literally in a Word document. But what I like to do personally is just draw it out for my people, right? And this is like your business plan, guys. This is what fills the top of the funnel. I'm going to do like a little thing here. And we spoke about the funnel last week, but cool. So this is kind of what it looks like. You guys see that? And this is literally how I dropped the first one. Belinda will testify to that, right? But I don't usually put the funnel there, but I'm just going to show you something. So this is what it looks like on a piece of paper. And then what we need to decide on, first step of your circles plan is deciding what you're going to promote. So is it going to be Fit Club? Is it going to be health scans, skin parties, roadshows? Actually, probably not roadshows. That's more of a tactic. Health scans. Did I say health scans? Like, there's so many different things we can promote, guys. I just did a workout, so I'm always a little bit Friday. Maybe trial packs. Oh, the Glow Lean Challenge. That's a pretty good one. Any online challenge. Anything you guys want to do on this, like separately or whatever it is, you'll get no one in it if you don't promote it. This is the bit that makes your phone ring, which gives you the easy 3 or 4 or 5 people a day that you can talk to, and then you just go fill in the gaps on the rest, right? So let's say it's Fit Club and health scans. We want to have some type of process to funnel a percentage of that into members, right? I want you guys always thinking recruiting, and I'll explain why in a minute. So, and then we go, okay, so we've got Fit Club, health scans. How are we going to promote that? Posters, flyers, talking to people, Facebook, Insta. Oh God, there's so many different ways, guys. Well, whatever works with the time that you got, what you want to do, walk and talk. Like, seriously, guys, so many different ways. Online ads. And you want to fill in those boxes because you just want to have different avenues to go. You just want different avenues for different things. And that will mean that you get 1 or 2 leads a week from posters, 1 or 2 leads a week from Facebook, 1 or 2 leads a week from social media, 1 or 2 leads a week from whatever. And then all of a sudden you're getting 10 easy leads. And generally the ones that ring you are warm, right? Because I've seen your ad and they're going, oh, wait, I want to lose weight. I'm going to call this person. So they're a pretty warm lead. And then what you're going to do as well is you're going to write down some goals under that. Okay? Reason why we're writing down goals is because, like anything, without goals, we've got no direction and no ambition to be able to do what we want. So a lot of you are shooting for 7.5 so you can get your photo with Enrique this month, which is gangster. So have a crack at that. Even if you fall short, you'll still have a good month. But you want to be writing down how many new clients you want. You want to be writing down how many new members you want. Yeah, you want to be writing down how much personal development you're going to do every single day. You're going to write down how much exercise you're going to do, and you're going to write down some type of health goal. Would be what I would be writing down. So like I'm trying to lean up, so I'd write lean up, try to do at least 30 minutes a day, 2 shakes, and all the rest of it, 3 liters of Glow Lean, all my tabs. And then I'd write 10 new clients, but this is just me. And then I'd write 3 to 4 business builders.
Is that per month?
That's for the month. So 2 clients a week, I don't think, like if we're talking to 10 people a day, guys, like last time I'd done 9. I'd done I think I'm up to like 12 clients from that, 2 business builders. So if we're doing the work, it'll pay off. So write down those goals. And the reason why we do this, guys, the sole purpose is to fill the top of the business flow, the top of the funnel. So these things that you write down here, that's what you'd call your tactic, right? So that's the top of this. This is like how you design your business flow. And then you have some type of way that you're going to get them in front of the opportunity. So, or an open house scenario, which is 2 or more people talking, testimonials being heard, and you're not doing the talking. So your tactics, if we do them right, and that we're sharing testimonials within them, are going to lead you to people saying, hey, I want to look at the business. And then they flow through the funnel, right? And then once they're past that stage, it's up to us to educate them. So we'd be going like things like LDA, Super Sunday, SDS, and then we've got things like Adelaide, so Spec, and then Extravaganza, right? Herbalife always do a major Australian event every 90 days. You'll pick up the pattern. So it gives you 90 days to get to work and then consolidate it by putting a whole bunch of people in front of some very good training. And then your business goes, and then you do it again, same people, they all bring more people, you bring more people, and then goes. That's how we've always compounded our business. So that's what it kind of looks like, right? And that's tactics and all this stuff back to front because we're on a webcam. But that's how it looks on the funnel. So we do our plans to fill the top because the only thing that we can actually control is the amount of people going into our tactics. And if you don't have a tactic that you really love, then you've got to find that because that's going to make the invite so much easier. So even if you just got one and you concentrate fully on that and just absolutely smash it, you'll still get the results. You don't need 2. You'll still get the results. But it's good to know what else is there because you'll get a client that relates to something else. Like some clients of mine, they come in through Fit Club, but they send the skin pack on the thing and they were trying it and stuff. And I know Adele and Lauren doing an open skin party on Friday night, so I'll get them into that or hopefully get them into that, which, is just another way. But if you don't know that stuff's there, it doesn't have to be your primary thing. But if you don't know that stuff's there and you don't use it, then you shoot yourself in the foot, I would have thought. So so make sure that we're using everything that we got as well with the other tips. So that's number 2 and 3. Did that make sense? Yeah? Cool. Made sense to Meg, so must have made sense to everyone.
Do you do it because your goals are per month, do you do like your circles plan per month? Like how many posters? So break it down weekly?
So Meg just asked, I don't know if you guys could hear, but do I do the circles plan every month? I'd say I tweak it every month. I wouldn't say I change it. So if something's working, I keep it or maybe magnify it. If something's like if I'm doing 1,000 letterboxes a day and I haven't got a call after a month, I'm probably changing that. You know what I mean? Like that's a waste of time. Drop that out, put something else in and give something else a crack. But always have 4 things running. Because you can do stuff like social media guys and stuff. It takes 30 seconds. Like if you organise and you know what you're going to do. Or you can just steal someone else's post like most of us do anyway and just post that and you're done for the day, right? It's like when Meg does a post, it's like there's ripple effects. It's like an echo. It's like, boo, 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 boo. It's fantastic.
I always use it.
It's because they love you, I think. So cool. So that's like the strategy type of stuff I wanted to cover with you guys. So hopefully you guys are cool with that, and everything's optional in this business once again. But this is stuff that I've just found that have kind of evolved since my time and the higher learning that I've done within the company as well from going overseas and stuff. But number 4 is recruiting. And I know we talk a lot about Fit Club and stuff, but for me, like a Fit Club, in the back of my mind, like I love working out, I love the community, and I love helping people get results. But ultimately, they are healthy, active lifestyle open houses, which means we're using them to build our team. Because if we're not building our team, we're not building our royalty. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys are running a sole retail type of operation for an extended period of time, it gets really hard. Like if you're not generating any members, any royalties, like it just gets like it. You get sick of it because people will still be complaining about something and blah, 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 blah. And it's all right if you feel like your royalty and your freedom's growing, right? But after 12 months, if it's not, then we've got to reassess our approach. After 90 days, if we haven't brought in any new members, we've got to really have a look at it. Like really assess it. And please call me in if you want to talk about it. And we can just do like an analysis of your business and what I think would help. And then we can give something else a try for the next 90 days and see if that works. Because essentially, you can only help so many people by yourself. This is why we recruit, because we get paid on the impact that we make on the marketplace. And that's the same with anything in life. So the value that you can bring to the market is the value you'll get back. So if you can find a way to help more people and bring more health results into people's lives and bring like a couple $100 into people's budgets, that's game changing for a lot of people, guys. So that's adding value. So if we can do that and add more value, to add more value, we need more people. To get more people, we just need to have it front of mind. That's it. Like if you're following up with your clients and having conversations with them, they will mention money. It's one of the top topics that people talk about, and the lack thereof generally of what they have or some big goal they have coming up. And they will give you the tools to be able to bridge the opportunity of Herbalife and what they want. So for example, someone says, oh, I've just bought a house. You're like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Would you find it beneficial and have an open mind if we could show you a way to cover your mortgage repayments by helping a few people get healthy? Would you check it out? That would be my invitation. And they might say no, they might say yes, but you do that enough times and people say yes, right? Someone comes in and goes something like, man, I can't afford the products. Or the products are too expensive. I generally say, the products aren't expensive, you just can't afford them. There's a difference, a big difference, right? So, so with that type of person, I'll say, well, you know what, what's going on financially? Like, just ask some questions. They might say, oh, I haven't had a job for 12 months, da-da-da. And you might say, if I could show you a way to make extra income, would you check out an opportunity? Would you give me half an hour to show you what we're doing? And if they say no, they are happily broke and you can't help them. If they say yes, great, we can show them what we're doing and, you know, you might be able to change their life. You know, Garen Jones was sleeping in his car and now he's in the top 1% of earners worldwide in everything, like in life, not just Herbalife. So that's the power of this business, because all you really need is desire. And the rest is equal for everyone. So it's powerful stuff. So I just wanted to touch on that really, and just make sure that we have our recruiting philosophy, because we've got the way to start people off. That's all documented. It's like a system, yeah? And we've got the way to set people up with plans to get them helping their people. And we've got ways to get them digging within their, their top 50 people really that they know for help. So if we can do that with people, guys, your business is just going to multiply like crazy. And what I know about recruiting is if you're just adding people and you can't multiply it, like you're not doing this stuff and you can't multiply it, it's going to feel hard. But if you're adding people and then multiplying, which means helping them recruit and then helping their recruits recruit, and you know, so Meg recruits 2 people and those people recruit a couple of people each and those people recruit a couple of people each, all of a sudden you've got a line of 20, 30 people. That's multiplication. But if you're adding, to add 20 or 30 people, like I think our top recruiter last year was Lisa, and I think she's done 15. So that's 2 years of work. Or you can show 2 people how to recruit 2 people and how to recruit 2 people, and it's the same amount of people in your business, and you're still making the same impact, and it happens 10 times as quick. It can happen in a couple of months if we do it right. So, so that's the recruiting side of things. And while I'm doing these announcements, you guys can ask questions on that, because that was like a bunch of information. I know some of you have heard it before as well, but it's always good to get a refresher, because generally when you look at your business and you can look at your new people and see who we're actually done that with, and then seeing the success I've had straight up and the success, or the lack of a faster start with some people because you didn't do the map list with them. Like there's a direct correlation between that, guys. So you guys got to reflect on that and have a think about it. But so we got some announcements with Super Sunday, right? And this was completely Meg's idea. No, it wasn't really. So what we're doing from now on for Super Sunday, and we'll kick this off in Feb, is we're going to do like a mega workout or mega fit club at the start. So we'll do that like times, let's say 9 o'clock, just for argument's sake. We can get all the people from Wang, all the clients, all the people that come, all the people from Albury, all the people from Myrtleford, and get them into wherever it is, and we'll work out where we're going to do it and stuff. Might be enough space in here, but whatever, we'll figure it out. And we're going to get everyone together and hopefully get like 70, 80, 90, 100 people. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to go off. It's going to be, just imagine the energy. And then we're going to get them all back. Like we're going to have like the way I'm looking at it is it's like two parts Super Sunday, right? So it's going to be like the client bit. So we're going to have the workout. Of course, we're going to have recovery stuff. And then we're going to drop in a nutrition training straight after on how to enhance your results. And of course, we'll play with the content of that, and we'll work out what people want to hear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It will also give us an opportunity to promote our challenges and stuff coming up and whatever we want to promote. And we'll have a lot of people there to do it. So that will be like the morning bit. And then after the nutrition training, we'll be doing the open house. So there'll be a minimal break in there, just so we can take these people and take them through the process, right? And we'll be talking, it'll be like a normal fit club. So we'll be sharing stories, we'll be saying that opportunity's coming up. And when we're inviting people, we're going to be framing up that they got the workout, we're going to have nutrition training, and then we're going to show you what we're doing. Like it's not going to be inviting to a workout, it's going to be inviting to the morning. Yeah. And that'll just take a couple of hours. Like our open houses are done in 15 minutes. For the sake of this exercise, it'll be real sharp. Heaps of stories, and then boom, hang around for the rest of the day if you want to learn how to do this thing. Then we'll have a break in there. And then we'll move into like proper business building member stuff. So all the clients and stuff, we can say, catch you later, have a good day. All the ones that don't want to hang around or didn't see an opportunity for themselves or whatever. And we'll move into the serious stuff. So the guest speaker will take the member training. We'll do a whole bunch of recognition in the middle and whatever we want to do in the member bit. And then we'll have our guest speaker hang around with supervisors who are Adele's saying stuff, but we'll get to that. And then we'll do the supervisor bit, right, with our guest speaker. So we'll get it. All the members can go. Our supervisors will stay for advanced training. And then what we'll do is we'll go out somewhere for food and stuff for qualifiers. Anyone who does their 2.5 is a supervisor. We'll go out for lunch and I'll shout that. And we'll have a feed and spend time together at a feed. We're not getting drunk again. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's the new format for the SDS. So we're excited about that. And the guest speaker we're getting as well. He's a legend. You guys know him actually pretty well. He's actually my best mate. 6 foot, a billion kilos. But a great guy, very smart. Understands Herbalife concepts really well, and I'm really excited to have him over to train you guys because he's the one that showed me the ropes, especially early days, and his basic principles are still what we do. So we're going to get big Rowan Hillman over, Millionaire team member, nearly done a cut of 7.5 actually this month, in December. So we're getting the big fella over, and he's going to be training us. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. We're going to get lots out of that. And I'm super excited to have him over. And he is super. He's more excited than me, which has ever happened in my history of filming. So we're pumped about that. So get everyone, who do you know? And the reason why I thought I'd get a bloke is because I'm trying to get more blokes in our business. Because, yes, I know, Matthew. I know. Yes, Artie. Yes. So we're making I thought if we get a bloke, to come to the guest training, maybe people will invite more blokes and we'll get a few more, but doesn't matter anyway. Mums are cool. Chicks are cool, of course. So whatever, but Hillman's obviously relatable to most, to be honest, because his principles are so basic from a Herbalife perspective. And then what else we're doing is we're still working on the SDS bus, guys. Lisa, the legend, soon to be the myth when she moves to New Zealand, rang around today, and they're actually all booked out for the 20th, but we'll pull some strings with Nicole and Ben. So we're just fingers crossed, cross your fingers and your toes that we can organise that. But there is a possibility of us just loading up the cars and getting down there as well. So just keep that in the back of your mind, but whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes, and we'll get there, and it's still an amazing day. And then lastly, I know we're still talking Adelaide, but I just want you guys to be aware that as a team, I think it's best that we go to Singapore Extravaganza in May. It's a cheap flight. We'll run some promos to make it more cheaper for you guys as well. And Extravaganza, if you guys enjoy Adelaide, I just want you guys to just have it in the back of your minds. You don't have to make a call on it. When you walk into Adelaide Spectacular, picture that times 6, because there's 30,000 Asia Pacific individuals with a roof on in one venue going bananas. So it's crazy, and obviously the best people in the entire region, I'm talking all of Asia, New Zealand, Australia, are off the stage, and it's going to be an amazing event. So I just want to plant that seed as well for you guys. And now we'll get to the questions, huh?
And you announce when Super Sunday is?
Super Sunday is on the 25th of February at Albury. Is it at Albury?
Yeah, I decided that.
Okay, it's at Albury. Meg decided it today. It was meant to be here, I think. But if we're going to have 100 people at our workout, they won't fit. So, and we got that big area across the road. So write that in the diary, right? We're going to get Hillman on the 25th. So Adele said, speaking of things, are we doing a get ready for Valentine's Day detox challenge? I don't know when Valentine's Day is. It's the 14th of Feb. Yes, we are. So, and I was actually I wanted to throw this at you as well. I had some ideas, which happens occasionally, and they're always good though. So I was thinking at the end of this challenge, everyone here is involved, right? Pretty sure everyone here is involved. So at the end of this challenge, we're going to do some type of, I want your ideas on this. I want to make this a discussion in the group. Some type of register now for the next one and insert whatever you think. Okay? I just want to bounce some ideas around. I just want you guys to, when we're talking about it, we don't have to do it here. We'll do it in the group, and it'll just be an ongoing thing. But just make sure that our new guys can do it. Because if our new guys can't do it, then it's not worth doing. So I don't want to be giving away massive discounts. No discounts, actually. Maybe a product. Maybe I can get some stuff printed up. I don't know. You guys, I just want some ideas so we can do it. But I think there's lots of value in because these guys are having an amazing time. So let's sign them up now for the next one. And of course, I have to pay their $10, and they mightn't need product yet or whatever. But I just think that's a good idea to have some type of like promotion for the challenges now. Bounce a whole big percentage of them into the next one. Cool. And then we add to it. And then eventually we'll get 200, and then we'll do it again, 300, do it again, 500, do it again, 1,000, and then we'll be doing something. So the other idea I had as well in relation to the challenges was having for people who aren't in the current one, like an early bird entry. So there's double the hype. So generally most people join, well, not most people, but we have a real influx of people on the last couple of days because they're running out of their time. So if we do that twice, in theory, we should be able to get more people. And it gives us a lot more hustle to promote with. So if we do it like a week out, so the last week early birds finish, and it's just normal entry, but have some type of thing. And this is the other thing that I want you guys to talk about in the LDA group. Have some type of thing with that 2 week to 1 week period out from the start, and we'll work out when in the month is. Have some type of incentives that we can go really hard. I don't know when it's starting. I'm going to find out. It's always on end of month, so I've got to send them an email and say when's end of month. Laura just asked. That's why I said that. So, cool. So I just want to throw those ideas at you. I think that will really increase the numbers of challenges, which will, of course, increase our impact, and that's what we're about. That's it. Cool. That's it. So, guys, thanks for logging in. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them at me. I'll give you 1 minute to do that. But if not, please start the discussion on early birds if you think it's a good idea even, or not. You might say, no, that's terrible, Cater. Forget it. Okay, cool. But let's just throw some ideas at each other. Don't do it in that thread. Otherwise, my phone's going to be binging all night. And by the time I get to France, I'm going to have like half a day's of reading to scroll back. So let's do it in the group because it's easier. Yeah, so that was just some ideas I had. So, but if anyone has any other ideas to improve the challenge, like I want to make this thing elite, like all the videos properly made, like everything, and we're working on it. But so yeah, so that's just what we want to do. So if there's no questions, guys, have a good one, and we will see you. I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.